All right. Listener submitted business advice. Number one. Ooh, nice one. Do you want the short one or the long one first?
The
long one's not that long. Sorry, what?
No, long one first.
Long one, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Aaron and Alex. My employees have requested a separate holiday party for the interns because last year an intern won the grand prize, courtside tickets to a Bucks game. I'm assuming that's the Milwaukee Bucks. Interns only got one ticket for the entire raffle, and full-time employees had 50 each. There are about 20 different prizes. Okay, nice. A lot of prizes. So I assume they just put the tickets in the prizes that they want. And then, okay. And on the other hand, these team members requesting this tell me that interns are essential for their departments to function. The need for interns for them to do a great job and the request to alienate them bothers me a little bit. But I also get full-time employees should probably be the ones winning major prizes. Let me know what you would do.
Oh boy. Yeah. This is going to sound really bad. I would make sure the best employees were always winning the best prizes. Like, you don't want to have like that bottom 10% employee win the courtside tickets, or the intern who might not even be there. But
that's not even
ROI.
an intern thing. It's like you should rig it so that only your best employees get stuff. Okay.
I know, and it sounds we're probably gonna get I'm gonna get roasted for this, but like, if you're really thinking of like ROI for those types of prizes, and this is why we would just give them bonuses. So if they didn't win some big prize, they knew they were still getting a great cash bonus. But I would totally rig it. I would rig it so my best employees always won. And I wouldn't tell them, hey, you're going to get the courtside tickets. And there might be, there might be a handful of great employees. And so you could make it randomized so one of the great employees actually gets it. But I would make sure the great employee got the courtside tickets. 100%.
I guess my question would then be, would you ever do a raffle for a holiday party?
Oh, for the interns?
No. The question was like if you were like setting up this scenario, like it sounds like they do a raffle. Like, would you do a raffle at all?
I would do a raffle at different levels. So I wouldn't do a completely different party, but I'm like, here's the raffle for the interns. Here's the raffle for the people that have been here for a year. Here's the raffle for the people who've been here for 5 years, and go from there. And then they could, talk about motivation to get those interns to stay. They're like, oh, cool. Our raffle was $150 gift card or something. Well, at least I got something. Holy crap. If I'm here for 5 years, I could win, courtside tickets or, a vacation. And so like, I want to work for this company. This company is awesome. But you want to be rewarding the correct people. So that's how I would do raffles. I would have different kind of levels to the raffle.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, it's like one of those things where, because I assume this is like the hard thing. If your intern is one of your best employees, they're probably no longer an intern. They probably have been hired on and are now a full-time employee. So that probably doesn't exist. But to be fair, I remember sometimes where I was working before, like the goal was to keep interns for as long as possible so that you can pay them less and get as much out of them as possible. And you'd only elevate them once someone else had left and a spot had opened up for it. So I'm coming from a background where it was like, we're building our company on your backs, and we're going to be doing it for $10 an hour. So right. I don't know if I have an opinion. Also, I was one of those employees one time. One of my first jobs I ever worked at, it was an auction. And so like I'm going to make up numbers. I don't remember. Mine was like, I had like $50 in the auction, and then all full-time employees, based on how long you'd been there, it'd be like $1,000 because you've been here for 10 years, 2,000. I'm making up numbers.
Sure.
And I won the grand prize, which was a video iPod. I know that people are upset about that, but at least with that one, that's more of like, you take the risk on bidding on the random item. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you have all right, item A, item B, item C. So I guess
there was only $25 max that you could spend on these. You got a video iPod from the office.
Yeah.
I love you this many dollars.
This many dollars worth. I love.
Yeah, but so to answer the question, I don't know if we actually did. I would not do a separate party. I would just separate the raffle to different things.
Yeah, I think that's probably better than the way that the company I was at too, where it's like, all right, now someone gets 50, like you need to eliminate some of the randomness that can happen. Like you,
Right.
because just based on this thing that you're saying, obviously your employees are pissed off and
Yes.
you don't want to piss off your employees. I don't know if they're your top performers or not, but you don't want to piss them off. All
Correct.
right. Number 2, nice and simple. Yep, that even says it. Hi, unsexy businessman. I'll keep it simple. We had a good year. Congratulations. How do you do bonuses for all employees? For all employees, how do you do? Oh my gosh, how do you do bonuses? Equal for all employees? Different based on merit or a combo? Thank you.
Yeah, you definitely don't do equal. I mean,
No.
that's what I said. Like it was based off of performance, and that's how it always should be. Performance and longevity. If someone's been there a really long, even if I had like an employee that had been there for 5 years who was doing pretty good, and then I had some like just kick ass employee that's been there for a year and a half, that's better than the 5 year employee. Um, I
So
would, I
100%.
would, I don't. That never happened to me. I don't know how I would do
Right,
that
because
because you want to
you're probably keeping badasses, and like you probably were
yes.
losing non-badasses pretty fast. So like inevitably, the people who are there longer for you, at least, because you do everything merit based, are probably pretty great.
And here's the other thing. I never, like, when I was doing bonuses, I wasn't doing this in front of everyone. I would just like discreetly give them like, here's your card. Don't open it until you get home. And the card with the envelope had a bunch of money in it. And that's how we do it. So I wasn't in front of the entire company like, hey, and Margot gets $5,000. Time for everyone else to feel horrible that you only got 500. Like I kept it pretty discreet. But no, all right. But to answer your question, you should absolutely do bonuses based off of merit, 100%.
Yeah. Um, did you ever anyone ever share like the bonus amount that they got with like another employee?
No, because the thing was, I would tell them too, I was like, you keep this quiet or you're not getting a bonus next year. I was like, this causes drama. I mean, would have I actually not given a bonus? Probably not. I probably still would have done something. But the veiled threat was at least there. Like, you
Yeah.
got to keep this quiet, or if it's not going to be like, the bonus will not be as big as next year. This is
Yeah.
all just for you. Don't talk about it. And so no one wanted to lose that bonus. So no one talked about it.
And I imagine like because I would share my salary with people all the time at like one of my old jobs, but that was more of a like you could like, the environment that was fostered that created people who felt like they were underappreciated would like ask questions like that. And whenever anyone would ask me, I would never not tell them because I'm just like, and guess what? One person who I told ended up getting a raise from it because they were being paid. I think it was like, this is why. Sorry, this is like so different. This is why understanding what is success and what is not, like what the goals and responsibilities of every employee being very specific is like so important because then people aren't surprised. Like like if somebody did reveal that, only a shitty person would be like, "Oh, I didn't get $5,000." Be like, "Oh no, it's
Right.
because you're really really awesome and like you succeed at doing all of these things."
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, I didn't care if people told about like what they were making per hour. If they wanted to tell someone and someone got offended, I could justify why that person
Easily.
was making that amount of money. Like, I had no problem. If I had an employee, which I don't think ever happened, if I had an employee that came up to me like, hey, I noticed that she's making $25 an hour and I'm making 16. I don't think that's fair. With every employee, I could break down exactly why they were making that much money. And so if they wanted to have a conversation about it, I had no problem. And then I'd be like, you're at 16, they're at 25. This is what you need to do in order to get to that 25 as well. So
Right.
it would be
Clear.
more of a constructive thing anyway.
Yeah, it's like there needs to be a clear path for whatever it is.
Sure. Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Well, remember, as always, submit your questions on YouTube comments or send them into unsexybusinessmen at gmail.com. Once again, that's unsexybusinessmen at gmail.com. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Go have a great
Happy
rest of the week.
holidays.
Happy holidays. This is probably coming out around like Thanksgiving or the week before. I don't remember. But either way, have a wonderful, wonderful holiday